And welcome to Futures Focus, a fantasy baseball podcast centering around all the top prospects in the game, brought to you by Prospects 1500. My name is Alex Sanchez, and we are here, and the time has come for baseball, both Major League and Minor League, as we are now starting the 2025 season. And to celebrate, I have two of my best friends, Jeremy May and Nate Eckert, joining me on what is most likely going to be the longest episode that we ever record here on Futures Focus. But I'm okay with that. So, Nate, how you doing?
I'm good, buddy. I'm trying to calm myself down after the whole Twitter episode. I just had to go through with the 2 authentications and yada yada. But other than that, everything is kosher. Just another year of Dodger baseball. Getting excited. I just saw that. What's the latest report? Mookie breaks the tie in the 8th with his first homer of the season. So that was a live update for the people that will listen to this 3 days from now. Anyway, I'm doing well. Happy baseball's back. That's for sure.
And Jeremy also joining us today. One more time, we are going to go over the AL West, but we have a lot of other things to get to today. So, Jeremy, how relieved are you that we can now just have baseball on at pretty much any time that you would like?
Man, it's time. The buildup is here, so I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, it's a very long spring training, as we have discussed, but that's all in the past now. And we get to talk about real baseball. It was a fun opening day. Lots of offense. In the last couple of years, we weren't used to all of that offense. It seems like the weather's pretty good all over the country. And balls are flying already. So that bodes well for an exciting season. Just having all the games on with March Madness going on. It's a great time of year. Fantastic time of year. So this episode, we will finish up the NL West. We have 5 teams to get to, I promise. We will get to those teams. But kind of in between each team, we'll do a little bit of our bold predictions / predictions / picks for World Series, divisions, all that great stuff that we're so used to doing. Just to get, we have to. I think it's a literal law that you must do that if you have a baseball podcast. You have to make predictions so that people can laugh at you later on. So we will definitely do all of that. I'm very excited to go over what I have, and I know you guys have some great stuff too. Hopefully some spicy takes too. So let's just get right into the NL West, and we'll start, Nate, with the Dodgers.
Hey now.
Why not?
Right now. Why not?
Why not? Nate, this is going to make you I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this, because Jeremy and I discussed this a little bit, and we'll add our thoughts in after. I'm sure you're going to probably take a good 20, 30 minutes on this alone. But we have, no tier 1 players for the Dodgers.
Oh, no.
Now, as you recover from that statement, let me remind you that a tier 1 player, according to our website, is a player with high expectations of both making the majors and playing at an all-star level for a number of years, meaning that a tier 2 player has an above average expectation of making the majors and being a solid contributor, followed by tier 3, the average expectations of making the majors with them being a solid contributor, followed by tier 4, possible sleeper candidates, tier 5, worth keeping an eye on, maybe make the majors, but nothing too crazy. So no all-star players in the minor league system for the Dodgers. Nate, what do you think?
Ouch. It hurts. It hurts. You know what, though? Honestly, I think the real argument could be made is for Dalton Rushing. But his floor is really high and he has a chance at a high ceiling. But this is the thing about Dodgers prospects, and God knows I love them and I love the Dodgers, but We haven't really seen since, like, I don't know, Corey Seager, a homegrown, or Bellinger. I should say Bellinger, a homegrown position player who has really just exploded onto the scene over the past 10 or 15 years. And in order to do that, you have to be a tier one. So, to believe it or not, I'm not as offended as I could be. Do I think Jackson Ferris and Emil Morales and Yohendry Vargas and Alex Freeland are tier threes? No, I don't. I think that they are tier twos, but I don't. I mean, I'm not completely aghast at the no tier ones, actually.
Okay, I will be aghast for you then. I actually really like the statement that you made that some of those other names being at tier 3, tier 2. I'll go one step further and say I would be not at all surprised if all 3 of these were tier 1 players in another universe where this list gets redone by a few people. I like all 3 of these guys a lot. They have, I mean, there is something here for everybody, whoever you like. And with the way, you said that the Dodgers haven't really had that homegrown talent blast off like since Bellinger or Seager or Will Smith would be another one.
Yeah.
But there really hasn't been a chance for anybody to do it. Maybe Gavin Lux is the one that kind of never did what we thought, but everybody else gets traded away and then they just sign, Ohtani and trade for Betts, and that's kind of how the Dodgers do things. So where are these prospects supposed to come in and dominate? But
yeah,
these guys, they're uber talented, and I would not be shocked to see all 3 of them in a top 30 on any given list, on real or fantasy wise. What do you think, Jeremy? Why don't you kind of break the well, it's not really a tie or anything, but what do you think on this?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like we were talking about off air, I would have zero problem with DePaula, Rushing, or Hope, any of them being tier 1. They were easy top of tier 2 people for me. But, with proximity, Rushing probably, like Nate was alluding to, would, probably be your closest and, could really contribute early. But gosh, it's so hard when they're young to label them with that perennial all-star label, to throw on like DePaula or Hope. But man, I wouldn't argue with anybody who had them in tier 1. I actually had DePaula in tier 1 myself. I'm on the rankings, but yeah, I kind of agree with a little bit of both of you. I definitely don't have a problem with any of those 3 or all 3 being in tier 1. But I can also see, that putting it at the very top of tier 2, there's some value in that too.
So I could definitely get on board with the DePaula. Like, maybe I'm not willing to risk my professional podcasting license, which doesn't really exist, on saying that DePaula is going to be a future All-Star because we haven't seen enough of him. But I saw enough of Zaire Hope last year and in spring training this year where I'm just like, that guy is unbelievably good. Yeah. And Dalton Rushing's ready to go. And we might see him up for, depending on how Will Smith, if his decline continues, which is weird to say because, I mean, you go from being one of the best catcher to like a top 5 catcher now to like a top 10 catcher. You're still really good, but maybe Dalton gets 50 games, 100 games or whatever this year. And then, next year takes over. So really like him, like Hope, and DePaula is the one where, like, obviously he could be the best out of all 3. I wouldn't surprise me at all, but I'm not willing to stake it all on him. So these 3, they have the Yankees effect where you have them and people are going to give you a little bit more value than, let's say, a Minnesota Twins prospect or a Seattle Mariners prospect. And sorry for those fan bases, but it's the way the game is now. These guys have a little bit more. So, Nate, you were saying about tier 3. Let's say, you take a look at Eduardo Quintero, Jackson Ferris, Yohendry Vargas, Emil Morales, Alex Freeland, and Keelan Lindsay. Those were, by the way, all tier 3 players. If you had to pick, I'll give you two. I'll give you two in which you would bump up to tier 2. Who would they be?
It's easy. Ferris and Emil Morales.
Okay.
Ferris went to IMG, in high school. That is a factory for producing, top level, basically just clay to mold. And he's in the perfect place to be molded. Left-handed pitching, starting pitching, young, projectable, 21-year-old lefty. I mean, he ends up with the Dodgers coming from the Cubs. All he did was excel. He had an incredible year last year. And then Emil Morales, all he did was hit better than everybody's darling Jesus Made, Jesus Made. He had a better DSL than Jesus Made in all offensive categories, except for steals probably. But he led all of the DSL and everything last year. So, yeah, I could easily put those two into tier 2.
Yeah, fair enough. I like Alex Freeland's proximity, especially with shortstop. Like, yeah, Mookie Betts is there, and he gets moved all over the place if you need to. And if you want to just have a solid shortstop there and not have Betts go out and play shortstop, that might be the next guy up. And so I like him for fantasy stuff as a tier 2 guy.
I've seen Freeland on I think it was Baseball America, their 100. I think he was like in the 60s.
Yeah,
on Baseball America.
He's a great defender, right? And that's kind of why you see him boosted in those type of rankings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, this there should be like a little bit of a criteria for the Dodgers. They're just so unique because these are all great prospects.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at tier 4, like Robleski, River Ryan, Kyle Hurt,
they don't belong in tier 4.
But they do. They do because there's just no room for any of them.
Yeah, I guess.
Until they get traded to another team, like River Ryan's not coming up and making 15 starts for this team.
No, he's not.
And so I don't know how he's going to give you fantasy value. And he's 26.
Yeah.
And so you go and put him on the Marlins, and he's like their 4th starter right away, So you kind of have a catch-22 here.
Yeah, you're right.
So everybody hates the Dodgers is the big lesson here.
Yep.
And we're all jealous.
That's
what
okay.
else should we talk about the Dodgers farm system made? I don't know. I'm ready to move on to some predictions.
Yeah,
here.
let's go on. Let's move on.
They are what they are. Like, they're all fantastic, but I don't know how any of them make it up. And so you're just like,
waiting for them.
What do you do with, Jackson Ferris? What do you do with him?
Oh, he'll come up.
Yeah.
Ferris will come up.
You think so? But for
who?
Like these, they're so deep.
For us.
Well, yeah.
I mean, for the amount of times that the starting pitching staff for the Dodgers have been hurt just in the past 3 years. I mean, last year alone, I think 2 years ago, we went through 15 starters. And last year we were in the same realm, somewhere around.
Oh, that's true. What happened to Bobby Miller? I'm just curious.
He got struck in the face. He was making a comeback from whatever injury took him out last year, and he got hit in the head on a comebacker like the first week of spring.
Yep.
And so because of that and just basically command issues, they sent him to AAA.
Yeah.
Wasn't that your boy Bush that hit him with a line drive too?
Yeah, what are you talking
about? It was Bush.
Yeah. Boy, that's an interesting twist.
But I wasn't like, I just don't know how he didn't succeed before getting hit in the face, last
he
year.
did his rookie year, but then he didn't.
But why? I mean, he just has, I don't know. Anyway, well, we won't worry about Bobby Miller. Let's go ahead and take a break from our divisions, and let's discuss our predictions for what do you guys want to do? We got to do some division winners, we got to do some awards, and we got to do some bold predictions. What should we start out with?
I vote for bold, just straight out of the gate.
Wow. All right. Well, let's do a few bold ones here, and then let's go. Let's each give one bold prediction, and then let's go over our AL East division winners. How about that?
All right, sounds good.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's go with you seem excited, Nate. So I'll let you provide one bold prediction. You can be as spicy or as non-spicy as you would like. Go with your one, and we'll move around the room.
Okay. This is probably my spiciest. We'll get to you guys will be the deciding factor on that. But Connor Griffin, first prep player taken in last year's draft, will be the number one prospect in baseball at the year's end.
Ooh. Wow.
He's been making a lot of noise in the backfields of spring training. They're saying that he is bigger, faster, stronger than anybody had thought, more twitchy, etc. They already moved him to outfield and center, and I think he's going to have like a Jackson Merrill type ascension. And that's my bold prediction.
I like it. Yeah. That's very fair. I'll just go with that because I actually have a number one prospect as well. But it's not probably as wild, but it is in a way. I have Carson Williams as being the number one prospect in all of baseball at the end of the year, suggesting that he does not get to the big leagues this year, which is a little, that's something. But I think by the end of the year, he's going to be number one for a lot, if not everybody. I'm all in on this guy. Defense is there. Team context it's just great. So he's my number one guy by the end of the year. And that's without him. And maybe he gets a cup of coffee, but I don't think he's going to be up for a huge amount of time. So that's my bold prediction that I'll give and hand it over to Jeremy.
All right. Well, so I did some major league and some minor league ideas. So we'll take a combination here. Okay. So we're going to hit them both. So Jack Caglianone hits 20 home runs in the big leagues and helps power the Royals to the playoffs.
Whoa.
But then my caveat is that it comes with a 35% strikeout rate. But he hits 20 home runs and helps power the Royals down the stretch. So there you go. We offended Royals fans a couple of weeks ago, so I'm going to get them back in our good graces here. So
did we?
How did we offend them?
Well, no, I'm just teasing. We made the comment that there's not many Royals fans out there, but it was all joking.
So the four of them got mad at us. Okay, so here let's go extend that. Does Jack Caglianone ever hit 50 home runs, Jeremy?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. And let's say if there's a season in 2027, he hits 50 home runs.
If there's a season?
Well, they're talking about.
Okay. Whoa. Hey.
potential lockout stuff after 2026.
I can't go through that.
We're
in bold prediction 2025 here, Jeremy.
So yes, okay. I think he hits 50 home runs, but I don't think it'll be in his sophomore campaign.
No. But ever in a season. Nate, what do you think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll say 3.
I'll say no. But
okay.
50 home runs, that's a lot of home runs, and not many people are going to do that.
He's such a beast, though.
He's a beast, yeah.
If anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Cags.
That's a great point, yeah.
It just looks natural, too. I mean, he doesn't have to try hard to get to that power. It's impressive.
He's like a Greek god.
Yeah, he is. He's enormous.
Yeah, he's fantastic. So, Jeremy, you have the Royals making the playoffs. That's interesting. Yeah. I do not have the Royals making the playoffs. So, Let's
Nor
see
do
what
I.
we have here. Let's start with the Central then. Do you have the Royals winning the division or making it as a wild card?
I have them as the last wild card spot.
Last one. So you have a team ahead of them in the Central, which would be who?
The Cleveland Guardians.
Wow, you like the Guardians?
I do. And this is my bias, but at the major league level, I tend to go with teams that have quality and depth in their rotation, and at least an above average bullpen. And I think the Guardians fit all of that. And I think they're going to hit enough. So I'm going to go with the Guardians. And,
Okay.
and if we go further down the road, I don't want to spoil anything later, but I'm high on the Guardians this year. So.
Oh, okay. Nate, who do you have in the Central?
I too have the Guardians.
Guardians, guys?
Yahtzee.
Something. Okay. They got like Bo
Who do you
Naylor
got?
hitting fifth, guys. It's just like hard for me to get on
He's
board
also
with
got
that.
J-Ram hitting second.
Yeah, no, he's
and
obviously
Steven Swan leading off, and
Got Nolan Jones coming home.
Nolan Jones.
he's gonna figure out that Cleveland is not Colorado. Real
Good
fast.
Good old, you guys believe in the Ben Lively opening day ace of the Guardians? Okay.
You got a couple of injuries, whatever.
Couple of
They'll
injuries.
call-
Ben Lively
they'll-
is coming up to be your
they'll call-
ace on opening
they'll-
night. But
They'll call
okay.
somebody up, and they'll pitch better than half of the Brave staff.
Whoa, we're getting personal. I don't have the Guardians making it, and I don't have the Royals winning the Central either. You guys,
Wow.
you got to give me the Tigers. I'm ready.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah, they just have the Cy Young and the potential Rookie of the Year, according to me, in their rotation.
Yeah, they got good pitching.
And they got your boy Jace Young. You love Jace.
I do, but he's in AAA right now.
Yeah, he is. Okay, let's go to you know what? Let's take care of the East, because I thought that was an easy one, and then I ended up picking not who I thought I was going to originally. So, Jeremy, who do you have in the East winning?
The AL East.
AL East, yeah.
I got the Red Sox.
Huh. See, that was the team I thought I was going to take, and just like obviously. And then I didn't even have them making the playoffs. So
Yeah, that wasn't. Oh wow, now that could go in your bold takes.
yeah, okay.
I like that. That's kind of interesting. You may just got canceled by Scott, but
Last time you're here with me. Tell my family I love them. Okay, Nate, who do you have in the East winning?
I got the Yanks.
Okay. Yeah. So I have the Orioles winning it.
okay.
Okay. Yep.
I just
Man,
think-
they hit. They
Yeah,
just
I
hit.
got them as a wild
man,
card
the
team. So I'm with them.
rotation's tough. Rotation's tough, but
Man, they hit.
they hit. Okay. Let's go to the West. I'll start out with this one. I have the Mariners winning the West.
Nice.
Loved
I
me
like
the
it.
Mariners this year.
I
I almost
like
had them going all the way, but I couldn't quite get them there yet. But I think this is the year. It seems like they always just have bad luck but
Oh yeah.
that rotation is going to do wonders for them.
Yes.
Eventually, one year it's going to. I don't know if it's this year or not, but one year that rotation is going to carry them for a big run. I don't know when,
Yeah.
but
Could be.
Nate, who do you have winning the West?
I have Texas winning the West outright.
Jeremy?
I've got the Mariners as well.
Yeah, all right, good. I was way off because you guys are like agreeing on everything, so feels good to have.
How about wild card? Can we say the wild card?
Yes, let's say the wild card. I got go ahead, Nate. Who do you have as your two wild card teams?
Okay, so I've got the Mariners
Yes, like it.
and drum roll. It's actually not that exciting. The Red Sox.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let me take a look at these Red Sox here really quickly. I don't know. It depends on if those young guys come up. So they gave the job to Campbell like for no particular reason in spring training that he showed. Like, he didn't do anything well.
No, he did nothing.
And they're like, yeah, it's good enough. You can take it. And they still got Trevor Story at short, and then they got, I don't know.
Well, just wait for my bold predictions, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that real soon. They're my wild card. I mean,
fair enough.
Who knows?
I'm just trying to. They were like my obvious choice, and then I just thought about the other teams, and I just couldn't. I just dropped them. Okay, and then you like the Mariners to make it. That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeremy? Who are your two wild card teams?
So real quick, correct me if I'm wrong. There's 3 wild card teams, right? With the expanded playoffs now.
There probably is. I have no idea.
Yeah, good. because there's no way I could just pick 2 because I have 4. So, but realistically, I had to pick 3, right? So I have the Orioles. I've already spoiled and said the Royals. And my third, in Steinbrenner Field, the Rays are going to make the playoffs.
Yes, I love it.
I mean, how cool would that be?
That would be rad.
To be a minor league park to be hosting Major League Baseball playoff games. I have to see it. So the Rays are in.
It was already cool enough to have opening day there. You know.
Yeah.
They got that park ready in 3 days. Can you imagine that? 3 days.
Did you see the sign though?
Yes, I did.
Where it says, home of the Rays, and at the bottom, thank you, Yankees. Come on. I mean, come on. Did we have to do that? It already said Steinbrenner Field. I mean, come on.
Yeah. You're right. We need one more wild card team, Nate. You messed me up.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry. That was my fault because you asked me for 2. Okay, I'll take. My fault. I will also take the Orioles.
Nice. I can get the Red Sox in now, so that'll be my 3rd team.
There you go. See, it all works out.
Yeah, it all works out.
You're back in.
Back in. Okay. Let's just keep going throughout the playoffs. Who knows who's going to play who? Who do you have coming out of the AL, Nate? Winning it, going to the World Series.
I actually have Texas going all the way to the World Series.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, I like that. Jeremy?
I have the Guardians in the World Series.
Okay. Cleveland. Bo Naylor, Carlos Santana, Gabriel Arias, Brian Rocchio.
I think Chase DeLauder will factor into that mix by the end of the year.
Is he?
For 5 games.
The DeLauder effect.
Yeah.
Luis Ortiz is the 3rd starter on the team.
Is he?
That's what I'm looking at this depth chart at. Unless Shane Bieber comes back. Okay, fine. I don't believe in the Guardians at all. But you guys do. So I'm probably wrong.
It was about time for you and I to start disagreeing on something, right?
Yeah.
So.
There you go.
Yeah. Give us, Travis Benzana comes up, and then, maybe we change some things there too. Okay, so Rangers, we got the Guardians, and I have the Orioles coming out.
Nice.
Wow.
Let's go Orioles.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Let's go back to the NL West here, and we'll continue on with those predictions. That's always fun for us. I don't know if everybody else has as much fun, but we like to. Some people get happy and some people get upset with it. So it's good. Okay, the Diamondbacks. So Nate, they got a tier 1 player. So
do they?
They do. Here in tier 1, we have Jordan Lawler for the Diamondbacks, followed by Tommy Troy in tier 2. But that's the only tier 2 player for the Diamondbacks. That's kind of unique. I don't know if we saw many teams that did that, where they got 1 tier 1, 1 tier 2, and then dropped all the way to tier 3. That's pretty impressive stuff to do. In tier 3, we have Yulbir Diaz, and number 4, Yancel Luis, Slade Caldwell, Demetrio Crisantes at number 6, Ryan Waldschmidt, another Schmidt Diamondback, at number 7, Gino Grover at number 8. Adrian Del Castillo at number 9. And good old Andrew/Drew Jones at number 10. All right, there's some names here. I mean, Jordan Lawler is a guy. I've seen him in person several times. He looks amazing. And I still can't fathom how the Diamondbacks are okay just giving Geraldo Perdomo a big, huge contract so that he can stay in the minor leagues some more. But I think, this is the year where he's up and doing some stuff. There's a couple different paths, whether it be Suarez or injuries or Perdomo, where he can come up and do his stuff. And when he does, you're going to get some fantastic stolen base numbers, some fantastic numbers, and a pretty decent batting average. So still love Jordan Lawler. We're just waiting on him. That's really the only thing. So what about tier 2? I mean, Jeremy, one player in tier 2, what does that tell us about the Diamondbacks and what they're doing over there in Arizona?
I think when I look at their system, what kind of stands out to me is you've got a lot of the ones with a higher upside are your younger guys right now. Throw out Lawler, but with Jansel Luis and some of those Crisantes guys like that, they're younger, guys, and so it's really hard to, maybe project them up into tier 2 quite yet because we haven't seen enough. But other than that, like you've got a lot of just kind of guys, right? Like Gilbert Diaz, he's just kind of, he's been in the bigs, but is he like, he's like a number 3 starter at best, maybe, right? So, and even Tommy Troy, there was a lot of debate. You kind of mentioned that it was odd that we only had one person in tier 2. One of the rankers in the tiers actually skipped tier 2 and had Lawler in 1 and had Troy starting tier 3, which I thought, which was kind of an interesting debate, honestly, because Troy has been hurt and we haven't seen it as much. So I think that's the thing with the Diamondbacks is it's just kind of like I don't know. It's hard to get really excited about any of them. So I kind of honestly agree with the tier 2 only having maybe one in there. So
yeah, TBD kind of system here. I do like Gilbert Diaz a lot, and his stuff is fantastic. So I'm willing to be a little bit more patient with him than another starter that would be his age with his control issues. But man, he's got some filthy stuff. Well, so I might bump him up, and I do like Ryan Waldschmidt quite a bit as well, especially in first year player drafts where you miss out on kind of all the the top first round guys, and you're in the second round and you're like, oh, I haven't done any homework on this and I don't know any of these guys. Like, to me, he's still kind of a first round ish first year player draft type of guy with fantasy wise. He's got a lot of stuff that's really, really appealing. So I wouldn't mind putting those guys in tier 2. I wouldn't feel too badly about that. What do you think, Nate? Anybody here that catches your eye?
Yeah, I like Slade Caldwell, also another first year player guy. But now correct me if I'm wrong, but does Slade Caldwell not sound almost exactly like Corbin Carroll? Like first round high school, a lot of speed, could have some raw pop. He's got some good arm strength. It's like they're duplicating. And does he also not sound like who's the other one? The one with Carroll. Jake Okay. I wasn't even thinking about him, but also
Alec Thomas.
That's the one, Alec Thomas.
And that's the Diamondback way.
If you put them all together, they equal AJ Pollock.
Just very true.
Yeah, they have a type in the outfield.
They do have
that's my commentary.
Adrian Del Castillo can hit too. If we can just somehow keep his catcher eligibility, he reminds me of Agustin Ramirez down there in Miami that we talked about.
Yeah.
And where, or Samuel Basalo is another one where maybe they don't catch every day, but they still retain that catching. And then they're such a good hitter that they just keep ending up in the lineup and give you 150 games with 600 at bats or plate appearances, that's pretty nice too. So he can hit. Like, there's no doubt that he can hit. He's already proven that all over the place. So.
Yeah.
Drew Jones, I mean, I feel like obligated to talk about him.
Man.
But should we?
I mean, I hate to say I told you so, everyone.
It was,
but
wasn't it Drew Jones or Jackson Holiday? Right? Those are like you had to pick from.
Mm-hmm.
That was
that
was
the
a fun
same
time.
year?
And like half the industry was in Drew's court and half the industry was in Holiday's court.
Oh God. I don't remember those two being together. All I remember is the other big bopper who is with Washington.
Khalil Watson, remember him too?
Oh God, yeah, Khalil. Yeah, he fizzled out.
Who was the Washington guy?
Jeremy. What's his name?
Oh, I know. He's the K rate, the sky high K rate. Oh my gosh, give me a minute.
The fact we can't even come up with his name is pretty telling in and of itself.
Oh gosh,
I can look it up.
It'll come to me.
Let's see if it comes to you before I can look it up.
But yeah, he kind of caught a little helium right before the draft because of his raw power. Elijah Green, right?
Oh, yeah, good.
That's it.
You did.
No, not Elijah Green. Elijah Green was in.
Definitely.
Oh no, you're right. No, you're right. I was thinking of Isaiah. All right, no, you're totally right. Elijah Green.
Because it went, Holiday went 1 and Drew Jones went 2. So.
Wow.
In that draft, and I think Elijah Green went 3rd.
Yeah, I think he did.
That was 2022 MLB draft.
That was a terrible draft.
Holiday, Drew Jones, Rocker, Tamar Johnson, Elijah Green, Jacob Berry, Cade Horton, Brooks Lee. Okay, anyway, we got way off track there.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, Diamondbacks. I just can't stop this organization without Demetrio Crisantes. I think he's a big dynasty rankings riser, like you said in the.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
So he's a guy that, like, if he's available in deep leagues, you should probably go and try to get him. He's one of those guys that's super young with great fantasy potential. So don't sleep on him. I mean, they're like you said, they're all Mookie Betts walk-off homer. This is the TBD organization where these names could go any direction. We have to see them a little bit more with Crisantes, with Caldwell, with Waldschmidt, with Luis.
Yep.
And we kind of know Lawler, Troy, and Diaz and who they are, but the other guys, this could be a decent system if we give it a chance.
Yeah, there's a name.
All right, two teams down, and we got a few more predictions. Let's do the predictions here again. Let's go back there. Since we were in the AL, let's go over our Cy Young MVP and Rookie of the Year predictions. Very interested in this. And let's start with Jeremy this time. I'll give you. I always look at the odds of these guys too, like for gambling purposes. But Jeremy, who do you have in let's start with the Cy Young Award winner. Who do you have?
Okay. I'll start on the NL side, and I've got Zach Wheeler winning for the NL finally. I feel like he's been so close. This year's got to be his year. And on the AL, oh my gosh, I struggled with the AL. So I'm going to probably pick a pretty big reach here, but I'm going to say Tanner Bybee.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, with your Guardians love.
Yeah, I was really torn between him and Wu. Honestly, I really wanted to pick Wu. I'm going to go with Tanner Bybee. So.
Yeah. Well, Wheeler is a plus 800, so that's pretty close to a favorite.
Chalk.
Yeah, well, yeah, super chalk. I took the chalk guy in the NL. And in the AL, you're looking at like plus 10,000 for those two. So you should put a couple bucks on both of those guys if you like them.
There you
go. Yeah, Zach Wheeler is so good. I don't know if he gets enough recognition, even though he's I don't like the Phillies, but he is so darn good. Not sure how anybody ever hits him in any given day.
I know.
Nate, who do you have for your Cy Young
Okay.
Award?
In the NL, I have Hunter Green winning the Cy Young.
No. Okay.
Nice.
His fastball his movement on his fastball has improved every single year, and over the off season, he added a splitter that has been landing pretty well, and it comes out of his hands exactly the same as his fastball. So he's been on an ascent pretty much ever since he got his fastball some shape, and I just like the trajectory that he's going upon. The pedigree's there. Hunter Green, Cy Young this year.
That's great.
In the AL, I have so I have a bold prediction for the AL first and foremost, but then I have an actual prediction. Can we do this? It'll be like an honorable mention type of thing. All right, you guys there with me?
All right,
do it.
All right, so for the first time since Eric Gagne in 2003, Mason Miller will be the Cy Young Award winner in the
Wow, that is great. Yeah, wow.
Go into the bullpen.
Damn.
Now, let's say he doesn't,
Let's say he doesn't. Okay. Pretty easy to say he doesn't, but that's a cool pick. I like that pick.
Thank you. I took Logan Gilbert.
Oh, fantastic. I agree with you. That's who my pick was.
Nice.
Yeah, that's why I got the Mariners winning, because Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert plus 1,100. So not too chalky. The Skubal is a favorite. Crochet's up there. And then Cole Reagans is up there. And then pretty much Gilbert. In the NL, yeah, Hunter Green nowhere to be found until, plus 10,000 stuff. So, yeah. All right. Fair enough. I'm there with Logan Gilbert with you. And then I just don't know how Paul Skeens doesn't win like the next 5 Cy Youngs.
Yeah.
Is he going on your odds? Is he the best odds in the NL?
Yeah, he's the best odds out of either of them. He's plus 300. So
really? Okay.
Plus 300 to win the Cy Young? Oh my God, that is insanity.
The next closest is Wheeler at plus 800.
Oh man, that's a huge
Then it jumps all the way up to plus 2,000 for Corbin.
That is such a big gap between Skeens and Wheeler. Wow.
Yeah, Yamamoto, Cease. Cease look good tonight? And then Schwellenbach also up there.
Schwellenbach. He's a stud.
A fun one.
Yep.
All right. Let's head on back to the NL West and let's talk about the Giants. We get to talk about Bryce Eldridge, and that's always fun because he's back to playing. Injuries kind of stalled his progress. Oh, here, you know what we just said? The Giants, no tier 2 players at all.
There you go.
Wow.
So there we go.
Wow.
So the AL West is all mixed up.
NL West. Yeah.
NL West is all mixed up. But Bryce Eldridge, rightfully so, right there in tier 1. Nate, I think you were kind of the first one on Eldridge.
Thank you.
Out of anybody on this particular podcast, so I give you credit. I'm now co-captain on this train with you. Jeremy, are you going to co-captain this train, or are you kind of just going to sit back and coach?
I will. Can I be in between?
First class, I guess that's what.
Yeah, I really do. I'm not his largest supporter, but I really do like Bryce Eldridge. So
I get it. I see some. I got really excited about Spencer Jones, and that sort of bitten me. Although this story is still not told with him, but yeah, he does. He gets those tall guys get a little scary, but man, it's fun to just imagine that he continues on this progression that he's on right now, and we see him halfway through this year.
Yeah, I don't see Lamani Wade Jr. holding him back. So
yeah, the Giants are weird though. They always put
Yeah, they are weird.
They are very interesting.
and then they're like, wait, why isn't Luis Matos and Marcos Luciano helping us anymore?
Where's Helio Ramos? Oh, we're just gonna wait 3 years before we call him up, and then he just starts raking right out of the gate.
Yeah,
right. True story.
They do it a lot, yeah. And then they give him a lot of chances too, unless you're Joey Bart, and then they don't. Then
Oh, zing!
Yeah. So no tier 2 players. Wow, this system sucks.
I mean,
it's not good. This might be like if they didn't have Bryce Eldridge, Jeremy. Is this like this might be the worst one? We got Carson Wisenhunt at number 2, James Tibbs the third at number 3, Marco Luciano somehow still here at 4, Johnny Level at number 5, Dakota Jordan at number 6, Walker Martin at number 7, Reggie Crawford, the wrong Crawford, am I right, Nate? And then number 9, Rainer Arias. Grant McCray is still on here as well somehow. The NL West is ridiculous, dude. I'm glad we waited to the end here.
Yeah.
What's going on here, Jeremy? It's just kind of weak. I mean, not kind of. It's very weak. It's a bottom 5 organization. I mean, there's just no way around it. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. So if this time next year, Bryce Eldridge won't be on this list, right? So what'll be interesting this time next year is, do they have a tier 2 prospect, or do we just start do we just start the Giants with tier 3 next year? I hope not.
Dude, because Wisenhunt might get up too.
Exactly. So the top 2 prospects in the system will be up. Now, I actually like Tibbs a little bit, but I don't even know that he'll make tier 2 next year. Luciano, I don't.
He'll graduate. I imagine he'll get 15 more at bats.
Yeah, it's. I don't know.
Maybe.
But then so we rightfully so. We take a look at these names and we're hating on them. But then it's like, okay, Tyler Fitzgerald is a fringe all-star player now all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just kind of what the Giants do. Patrick Bailey is a Gold Glove winning, like, top 5 real-life catcher.
Yeah, I like Patrick Bailey. I do
like the Giants way that, like, some of these random guys are just going to be good players in the major leagues.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Somehow
I don't know if I want like Lamont Wade, like you said, really on any of my teams very often.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of love for Johnny Level in some publications as well.
I was just going to comment on him and simultaneously shout out my new show, Dynasty Deep Dive, powered by Prospects 1500. He was one of the names that I used in the deep dive last episode. As a matter of fact, he's rostered in only 10% of all Fantrax leagues.
Wow.
Yeah. Well. That seems like a high amount, to be honest.
I know, right? Isn't that crazy? But he's catching some helium though. The kid looks like he's pretty good, but he's 17, right? So I mean, it's kind of just where you have to go in terms of these deep dives. But he's the number 5 prospect according to our wonderful site here. So I mean, that kind of puts it into perspective just how backward the current situation of the Giants system is looking right now.
I think it's worth pointing out, since we're not going to talk about a lot of these guys in too much detail, that number 20, Sabin Ceballos, had a fantastic spring training and turned some heads.
Yeah, he did.
With some great analytical data. So you might want to take a look at him, where you're going to look at the minor league stats. You won't see a ton of power, but some of the balls he hit in spring training were ridiculous, like Yelensky Noel type of stuff. So keep an eye on him at number 20. Jeremy, anybody else?
I'm scanning through the list real quick. Gosh, I mean that tier 5. I'm gonna show my ignorance here. There are very few names in there I can even pull out for you.
Jair Palmares.
Yeah, I remember him.
Man,
24 now.
How did he was a darling there for a while?
Yeah, now he's 40.
Yeah, like what the heck? Trevor McDonald's not bad as a
Will Bednar.
Will Bednar.
Yikes.
I've heard
Wade
some.
Meckler. Like
I've heard some people talk about is that I'm going to say Jacob, maybe Christian down there at 28. I know he's got a lot of power. I've heard some people kind of mention him. If he can get a hit tool to go with that power, he could be sneaky. But I mean, he's 22 in single A, so I don't know.
26 homers, 27 homers last year.
Yeah.
NCAA San Diego.
Yeah, it's sorry, Giants fans.
I guarantee you that one of these guys from tier 4 down will be an all-star in the next 3 years, though.
You're probably right.
Can't tell you who, but I guarantee one of them will be.
Yep.
Yeah, Carson Ragsdale.
Go with Sabalas. Go with Sabalas. There it is. There's your guy.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's go back to some predictions. Let's go to the NL, and let's talk about some of those division winners in the NL. Can we all just put the Dodgers at the West? Is that crazy?
I can.
I did. Jeremy?
Yeah.
Third.
Yeah. You can't really claim to know baseball and then not pick the Dodgers for the West.
I mean, if you pick somebody other than the Dodgers, you're doing it just to make a statement. I mean, honestly. So.
Yeah.
Just to have a quote unquote hot take.
Correct.
Now,
believe me, it's not hot. It's just ridiculous.
What about the Central? I thought that was a wide open division, but then when I thought about it, I don't know how you could pick anybody else but the team I did, but I want to see if you guys picked them.
All right.
Go for it, Nate.
I took the Reds.
Okay, well you did. So there you go. Yeah, okay, fair. I like the Reds.
Yeah, I mean, they got Ellie. They got a lot of young talent.
Well, they have your Cy Young Award winner too, so that
that's
right.
Nick Lodlow looking like his old self once again.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Petty, he could get called up.
A lot of things. Jeremy, who do you have?
I got the Cubs.
Okay, yeah, okay. That was
it hurts. I'm a diehard Cardinals fan for life, so that hurts. But it's the Cubs.
That hurts.
That does hurt.
But the Cardinals aren't. It's not their year. The Brewers have kind of regressed, in my opinion, after losing kind of their whole pitching staff. It seems like is gone now. And I like the Pirates, but as we talked about, Jeremy, without Jared Jones, I get, that was the key piece for them that got me excited. Without him, it's hard to pick anybody but the Cubs. So fair enough. Don't have any wild card teams out of the Central. I'll say that.
Yeah, nor do I.
You can have the Cubs. Okay, what about the East? I've been picking the Braves every year, and I'm not going to anymore. See what happens.
Well, Alex, you'll be happy to hear that I took the Braves, my friend.
Let's go. What about you, Jeremy?
I got the Phillies.
Yeah, I had the Phillies too. I just saw what happened to the Braves. Like, okay, I mean, we talked about the Dodgers a lot, so with the Braves, like last year when the injuries hit, they became just a good team, and I don't think they did anything to remedy that problem if injuries hit again. And we saw it opening day for the 3 people that listen to this podcast that also watch the Braves play on opening day, probably, but. Hector Neris comes in the 7th inning with a 1-run lead and gives up 4 runs to the Padres. And so why is he in the game? why is he on the team? Like, why didn't they do stuff to help get some depth on the team? Because overall, if you can turn the injuries off, then the Braves have the most talent out of anybody besides the Dodgers in the NL, like Major League Baseball, let's say. But you can't turn the injuries off, and if they do happen, and if they happen at a higher rate than expected, then this team drops dramatically. So I do have the Braves making the playoffs as the wild card team. Jeremy, I'm assuming you do too. Otherwise, we're no longer friends.
Yes, I do.
Even if you didn't, just say yes. Okay. I also have the Mets and the Padres as my other wild card teams. Nate, who do you have?
I got the Mets, the Cubbies, and the Phils.
Okay, so you got the Cubs in there. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy, I think like in one way or the other, our teams are all going to be pretty similar.
Yeah, I think the only name that hasn't been said that I had making the playoffs in the wild card, I have the Diamondbacks actually making the playoffs.
Yeah, they're good. They're real good.
I think that addition of Burns puts them to the next level. I think they're going to hit enough. I like the D-backs. I like them. I have the Braves, and then Nate stole my thunder. I thought I was kind of doing a hot take with saying the Reds were going to make the playoffs, but you have them winning the division, so you went and won up to me, so never mind. I just think everything's going to click this year for the Reds. I think Green's going to take the next step up. I think Lodolo's going to be back. Ellie could go to the next. I think the Reds are going to be fun this year, I think. And
McLean's back.
McLean's back. I think Steer looks like, he's DHing to start, but I think he's on the way back to health. And
CES is looking strong again.
Yeah, who knows what'll happen with Marte.
The Reds are good. They're super. They're kind of like the Braves, where like if one or two injuries hit, then they're kind of screwed royally.
Yeah.
But if they don't happen, then all those names you mentioned are really fun. And then Ellie, like taking the next level to becoming the best player in all of baseball, surely wouldn't surprise many people. So that certainly can happen. All right. Who do you have playing in the NLCS and then ultimately moving on to the World Series? What about you, Nate? Are you going to go with your guys?
Oh, yeah. I got the Dodgers in the World Series.
Who are they beating to get there? Give me that.
Phils.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I have the Dodgers Phillies, but I have the Phillies going instead of the Dodgers. Mix it up.
Just to change things up.
Yeah. We can't all pick the Dodgers. Okay, what about you, Jeremy?
So I've got the NLCS matchup of the Dodgers and Cubs. And I think the Cubs make a late season starting pitching acquisition, and I think the Cubs are in the World Series.
You got to give us who they might pick up. Who do you think they would get?
So I really strongly feel like Sandy Alcantara will be a Cub by the end of the year.
That could very easily happen.
Yeah.
I do have a Cub winning MVP. How about that?
So
how about that?
I'm going to have to change mine because I think we have the same MVP. So
I'm going to change mine. You have the Cubs going to the World Series. I figured you had it from one of those.
Yep. I'll come up with a new MVP real quick then.
You don't have to do that. No, it's fun. Keep it the same. We both had Gilbert. We could both have the same MVP.
Yeah, but
it might not be the same.
But I heard on the podcast last time when Adam was in my place that if you and I don't start disagreeing, I'm not going to come back. So I need to change it.
I don't know. Well, what's interesting is, actually, I'm not 100% sure of this, but I think Suzuki might have better odds than Tucker. So I don't know if you picked Suzuki or not.
I did not.
No. Okay. No. Tucker has no. So Tucker has to have higher. So Suzuki. Sorry, I'm not on the site right now, but yeah. Okay. So Tucker is who you picked. Nate, while we're on it, then who do you have as MVP
in the NL?
Yeah.
Ohtani.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah, he's got to be number one in the odds, right? I mean, it's almost like it's like his award to lose, right?
It's almost even money.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And
So
it's not only because Ohtani is great, it's because after Soto, it's like, who the hell are you going to pick? It's like Corbin Carroll, Lindor, Churio, Suzuki, Tucker, Riley. You can't pick Acuna because he's not going to probably be enough. Maybe Skeens or something. I don't know. It's kind of
Ellie maybe.
Ellie, yeah. Ellie. I hope he wins MVP. That'd be sweet. I mean, imagine the season and MVP Ellie would put up.
Oh my God. 60-60.
I don't
might
remember.
Be like if he walks like he was doing in spring training, like a 40-90.
God.
Is that possible?
God, Jesus.
Oh, man.
I think it's possible.
I think we broke all possibilities last year.
Let's just keep it going then. MVP in the AL. Well, I got my Orioles going, so you guys know who I probably have.
You have Gunner?
Gunner.
I'm ready.
The number one Gunner. What?
Yeah, he's gonna hit 45 homers, and that team's gonna go all the way, and that's it.
Love me some Gunner.
I think he hit it. Didn't he hit a bomb today in his rehab start?
Yeah. That's the only thing he's not up right now, but I'm hoping it looks like he's gonna be back.
He'll be up in no time.
Yeah, he'll be the minimum, and he'll be up and ready.
Yep.
And he'll start hitting bombs right from the get.
What do you think, Nate?
Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah. He's definitely gonna win one in the next 3 years.
Has to.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I had a toss up. My heart tells me that it is Bobby Witt Jr., but I think just to be slightly different, I'm going to go with J Ram.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. All your Guardians are winning all the awards, so they're moving on.
They better win the World Series after all these award shows.
There you go.
So Bobby Witt at plus 400, Gunner at plus 950, but nobody picked the favorite at plus 310.
Oh, Judge.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
Judge.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Oh, those Padres taking 2 in a row from us already. Brutal road trip for the Braves, making them go out to San Diego and then LA to start without Strider and Acuna. That doesn't seem like how I want to start my year. But
schedule makers did not do them a favor.
Thanks a lot. So over here in San Diego, Leodalis DeVries at tier 1 at number 1 in the system. Ethan Salas in tier 2 at number 2 in the system. Kind of a fall from grace a little bit.
Yeah.
The fact that he's still only 18 years old. We only have, there we go with this weird NL West again. Only one tier 2 player. Tier 3, Cash Mayfield, Boston Bateman at number 4, Isaiah Lowe at number 5, Tirso Ornelas, who I almost had a bold prediction for Rookie of the Year.
Whoa.
He didn't get the call up. I was like,
Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Yeah. Well, you see Gavin Sheets, the guy's a Babe Ruth. And Brock Lockridge out there too. Anyway, Tirso Ornelas, and then that's it. 6 players in tier 1 through 3 for the Padres. This is a pretty weak system as well, minus a top. I mean, this is very Giants-esque, if we're being honest.
Yep.
You have a pretty consensus tier 1 guy now in DeVries, but then after that,
yeah, it drops off fast.
Fantasy type of guy, and then all of a sudden we're looking at a bunch of type of guy. Nate, this must make you very excited.
Yeah, I love it. I love every second of it.
I mean, the Padres did this to themselves, though, right? I mean, how many times do they trade off their? I mean, they get these guys and then build them up and then trade them all off. So, I mean,
that's what makes it even better. That's the cherry on top is that they did it all to themselves.
Right. DeVries, though, does look rather special. And if we liked Jesus Mate and Morales for the Dodgers, you have like DeVries at 18
Oh, yeah.
already in single A.
He's a beast.
I don't know what you do with him dynasty wise, unless you already have him. Like,
Yeah, you can't buy him.
Yeah, like you could try,
Yeah.
go ahead, but I don't think you're gonna have to overspend for him at this point.
Yeah,
And that's
you'd
tough.
have to be in a rebuild to probably be able to afford him.
Yeah. So, and even then, I don't love trying to get these teenagers that are that low. It's just it's like, obviously it's a great, risk reward type of thing. But yeah, after that, Ethan Salas, we've talked about, for it seems like years now, and they're at AA at 18 years old. He's turning into a guy that is going to be a great major league catcher. That's not fantasy wise going to be the one that you probably take within, the first 5 to 7 catchers. He'll be like I'm trying to think of somebody who's kind of like Cal Raleigh. I guess Cal Raleigh is kind of graduated into a top tier fantasy catcher.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, like a Sean Murphy guy, maybe. How about that for Ethan Salas?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not mad this guy's on my team, but at the same time, he's not really going to help me. But that's kind of where we're at on Ethan Salas. I think everybody kind of knows who he is at this time. And we got to go all the way to tier 3 and talk about Cash Mayfield, the lefty out of high school. We haven't seen a ton from Bateman. We haven't seen a ton from Isaiah Lowe, Tirso, or Nallis. Like I said, I'm like the ability for him to improve each of the years that he has is really encouraging. He's definitely a guy I would try going by. If like somebody thinks they're the 6th best prospect in this weak Padres system, then I would go out and get Ornelas where I could, just to see proximity wise. He's pretty good. Anybody catch your eye, Jeremy, though, here?
Yeah. Even in my rankings, I was too low on this guy. If there's anybody, because we've already said you can't afford DeVray, probably, right? If there's anybody in this system that I am targeting right now, it'd be Kale Fontaine. The more I've looked at him and the more I've dove into him, I think he could really rise up on some lists there at number 9. I think we're too low on him. So
yeah,
he would be one I would really like to go
just
after.
for the audience. He was in the most recent first year players draft, correct?
Yes, he was. Yeah. He was. Yep. Yeah, he was a high school. He's older for a high school kid, which doesn't always help. I think, but I've seen some stuff on him, and there's some publications that are pretty high on him already. So yeah, if I'm targeting somebody in this system that I think I can afford, it'd be him.
Yeah, I found myself getting Waldschmidt and Fontaine a lot in first year player drafts in that second round.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Lizarraga also, he's been around for a while, and his progression is like super book, like he's like chalk book, like he's doing what he needs to do every year, and so people kind of just don't worry about him too much. But as 21-year-old in AA doing with as many innings as he has is encouraging. Also, Alex Jacob, who's going to be pretty much up in the big leagues all year. I could see him turning into some sort of holds machine for the next 5 years with the way his delivery is, like a Taylor Rogers type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a safe holds league, you want to get some holds right now and maybe for the next 5 years where like this guy's just going to get right-handed hitters out in high intensity situations in the game. Like I'm on board with that. He's going to be tough to hit for a long time. But he's not. I don't think he'll be a closer. But for those crazy people out there that are chasing holds, he's the guy to go. Anything else, gentlemen, to talk about here with the San Diego Padres?
No.
All right.
I don't think
cool.
so.
So let's move on to let's go. We talked about MVPs. We talked about Cy Youngs. Now we get to the bread and butter, the Rookie of the Year for both the American League and the National League, and we'll mix them a couple more bold predictions as well, and then we'll hit up the Colorado Rockies to finish up the NL West. But you know what? I was really interested in who you guys are going to pick for Rookie of the Year, it seems like it's a little bit all over the place. There's a couple of guys. I don't think there's any like obvious guys in the AL, but in the NL, there's probably like 3 guys and then everybody else. So, but of those 3, like I bet we probably all have all 3, unless, I don't know, Suzuki, maybe you pick her, maybe you don't. I don't know. We'll see. But the AL is the one that's really fascinating. So, Nate, who do you have in the AL winning Rookie of the Year?
I've got your boy, Jacob Wilson, taking the Rookie of the Year this year. Yep.
Okay.
I think there's so much more power and such a good hit tool behind this kid that obviously others don't see. I just think he's gonna be that cog in the offensive wheelhouse that is the Oakland. Well, no, I can't even call him Oakland anymore.
Yeah, careful.
The A's.
Sacramento.
All right, Jacob Wilson. Sorry,
Jacob Wilson. Yeah, that's
Rookie.
cool. I like. Yeah, fair. I'm going on record for that. Okay, Jeremy, who do you have?
I got Cam Smith.
Yeah, he's the starter. That's for sure. He looked good.
Yep.
I just think at some point he gets exposed with how quickly he's up. So
Yeah, there is that risk for sure.
we'll see. But yeah, Cam Smith is probably close to being the favorite alongside Jason Dominguez would be the 2, like, I guess that you just kind of get. But, I have the Tigers winning the Central, so give me Jackson Jobe already in the rotation. So much like Cam Smith, the playing time's there and the incentive to keep him in the rotation so he can win Rookie of the Year is also there. So give me Jackson Jobe.
Nice. I like that one.
Now the NL, like I said, you're kind of being crazy if you don't pick Cruz, Shaw, or Roki as one of the 3. So Nate, are you crazy? Or
I am. I'm
one?
nuts. I'm crazy and I am nuts. I'm taking Jeremy's boy, JJ Weatherholt.
Whoa.
Up and win the Rookie of the Year.
That if you are right, I would be very happy.
That would be awesome. Yeah. That's a crazy take. That's assuming he's up, man. That's a quick.
Yeah. So can I ask you a follow up on that, Nate?
Sure.
What position does he play the most at this year? Because this could break my heart.
He'll be at second.
Okay, then we are on the same page. I like that then.
That won't break your heart.
No. If you said that Mason Wynn struggles that badly, that Weatherholt then my heart is broken. But no, we're good.
I think Wynn and Weatherholt are the future in St. Louis.
I agree.
All right, are you crazy, Jeremy?
Well, possibly. I've got a pitcher winning the NL Rookie of the Year, but it's not the sexy name. I've got Bubba Chandler.
Okay.
That's still pretty sexy, though.
Yeah, I got a bold prediction on Bubba, so.
Okay, all right.
So will be more bold by having him win Rookie of the Year, but I had him getting 10 wins.
Nice. That might win him Rookie of the Year. Yeah.
It might. Yeah. I think Dylan Cruz, who is my pick, is going to go like 20, 30 or something like that. Maybe 15.
I think ultimately it'll be Cruz.
And so I think he'll probably just win it based on that over a 10-win guy in Bubba. But yeah, I have Dylan Cruz. This guy is going to steal so many bases this year. Like if Ellie gets hurt, which I hope that doesn't happen because I love Ellie so much. But for whatever reason, he's out of the picture. Dylan Cruz will lead the NL in stolen bases. Like he's going to steal so many bags this year. They just run crazy in Washington. He stole 7 in spring training or something. He stole 1 on opening day. Like this guy's gonna put up some insane fantasy stats. So, and that's pretty close to what they're looking for at Rookie of the Year stuff. So,
yep.
There we go. All right. So we got all those. Those are some good picks all over the place. I love the Kyle Tucker. I think Kyle Tucker he's going to be, I don't know. I just feel like he's going to be awesome this year. Contract year, Cubs.
Love me some Kyle Tucker.
Yeah. All right, let's finish off. Where are we at in time? Oh my God. Okay, we're okay. Let's finish up the Rockies. Man, the Rockies.
Yeah. I struggled with this one, boys.
This division kind of stinks, yeah, of all these. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see, like, okay, beyond the Dodgers, like, who do you like if we ranked the systems? Because I think this is the second best system behind the Dodgers because of the top two guys. So Chase Dollander at number 1. Out of all the prospects that we had in tier 1, if I'm just kind of going off of the top, I think I might have like Dollander, and like not the Dodgers. Dodgers are in their own thing. Stupid Dodgers. But Dollander is an elite prospect. And people downgrade him because he's going to go in Colorado. But like everything else is almost perfect with this guy. Like he's Jackson Jobe, but he's Jackson Jobe on Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome to have. And then Charlie Condon at number 2 is also fantastic fantasy wise. Even like this is a fantasy dream for what we're hoping he can be. So those are really good tier 1 players. And no other system that we talked about has that many tier 1 players. So do you think this is the second best overall system in the NL West there, Jeremy?
It's awful close between them and the Diamondbacks, but at the top, I would give it to the Rockies. Yeah.
Yeah. Dollander is so good. And it's, as soon as he got drafted by the Rockies, everybody just went, oh man. But this guy is very, very impressive with even what we've seen so far to go along with the stuff. Like he's gonna be amazing for the Rockies. I don't care about Coors Field. What about you, Nate? Do you think that like this is an elite pitching prospect, or does Coors scare you too much? You probably watch more Rockies games than anyone on this podcast right now. So what do you think?
Yeah. Coors does scare me that much. I hate to say it, but it's just the place that pitchers go to die. And I was at the draft when Dollander got drafted, and I think I tweeted immediately, if he were here in person, I would ask him how he felt about being taken by the Rockies, because as a starting pitcher going in the draft in the first round, the only thing that you want to happen is to not be selected by the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an absolute hellscape for pitchers. That field is so enormous. There's nothing but grass out there. And people think the homers because of the air and yada yada. It's not even that. It's the enormity of that outfield that it's absolutely insane how big that field is. And then on top of that, it's not so much that, well, yeah, sure, the hits, they all leave the yard very easily, but you also your spin rate's off. You can't command things quite as well as you do, sea level. It's just all sorts of different things. It's just a calamity for a pitcher. And, I mean, if Chase Dollander goes out and deals, hey, more power to him. But for the last 10 or 15 years, or pretty much for as long as Colorado's been around, have you guys ever seen anybody that's been, like, aced them with Colorado? John Gray?
Yeah.
No, I mean, John Gray probably for maybe a year, but like nobody has ever had any success at all at Colorado. That's why they've only been to the playoffs that one time. Or I mean, they made a stretch run in the playoffs with Holiday. That Holiday's father. Sorry, all of our listeners out there. But I mean, this is the reason why the Rockies never win, is because you just can't pitch. It's just like I said, it's a hellscape.
But I'm literally just thinking this off the top of my head. Has anybody been to the Rockies and then gone somewhere else and become a great pitcher? I'm wondering, like,
as a Cardinals fan, Darryl Kyle comes to mind. I don't know that he was great, but he performed pretty well in St. Louis.
But like Ubaldo Jimenez is the one guy that had some success, but then when he left, he had no success anywhere. So maybe they just haven't had the right pitchers in Colorado that have a lot of talent that have gone other places and then just been great. And so I don't know if they've ever had a pitcher as talented as Dollander.
Yeah,
I don't remember a prospect at his level.
That's fair to say.
It'll be an interesting.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Yeah, but you're right. Coors is a crazy way. No, Jeremy, I'm looking at this list and like, I don't know, man. For tier 2, I would, I know you made this list sort of before spring training for sure. So Zach Veen maybe doesn't, but like Zach Veen's spring training got me all excited about him again. Yankee Fernandez, we've been big fans of him. Robert Calaz, he is doing some impressive stuff. That you even mentioned here, like 90% exit velocity and 90th percentile exit velocity as a 19-year-old in single A. Like, this guy's got massive power, and you throw him in Coors. Okay, I'm super excited about him. Cole Carrig, who I have really liked since he got drafted, and he's like a Craig Biggio type of just, baseball nut type of guy. Adil Amador is down here at number 7. We all loved forever, and now we just don't like. I don't know. Drew Romo. Like, these are tier 3 guys. I don't know. I feel like these are all tier 2 guys, and this system looks a lot better if you just kind of bumped them all up there to tier 2. And I'm kind of excited about this system when it's all said and done.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And again, it's very easy for me to look back on my rankings at the time we did them back December, January, and look at them in the rearview mirror. But if it were me ranking these right now, and I'm not taking anything away from Dollander and Condon, but again, tier 1 is all-star level, right? And in Coors, I just don't see Dollander making all-star games. Maybe, every team gets one, so maybe. But if it were me, I would have 1 through all the way down to Amador 7. I would put 1 through 7 all in tier 2.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
And honestly, I could see seeing Romo jump Brecht and potentially round out tier 2. That's more how I would rank this system right now. But I'm with you. I love Cole Carrig. He's not going to be an all-star, but he's going to be in Coors. He's going to be awesome out there. He's going to hit doubles and triples all day long.
Oh my gosh, he's going to be Brent Doyle out there. Like,
you're going
to have 2 Brent Doyles.
Yeah, he's going to spray the ball all over the field. He's quick. He's going to steal back. Cole Carrig he could be a fantasy stud if he stays in Colorado. Veen, again, if he can keep the strikeouts down, I like what he's doing a little bit. Kalaz, like you said, God, his exit velocity is sick. Man, I'm with you. Okay, you've convinced me. The Rockies are a clear 2 ahead of the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, like
I agree.
When we consider the ballpark and the fantasy aspects of all of that, like these are guys you want. We have Fernandez with 40 homer potential, Kalaz kind of like the 35, Veen getting us excited again. Like there's fantasy stuff all over the place here, and the bonus is that they got to beat people like Mickey Moniak and Sam Hilliard and get playing time. So if you're good, like Brent Doyle is a perfect example. Always enjoyed Brent Doyle. I never thought too much about him, and all of a sudden he went up there and he did it, and now he's a fantasy gold mine.
Yeah.
especially in Dynasty League where you got him for nothing, and he just manages to stick. So there's so many opportunities for this team in a great ballpark. Like, go ahead and take your shot on these guys. You get nothing to lose here. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. To be fair, if we're downgrading pitchers for the park, then don't we have to upgrade hitting?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Conversely, so
without question,
you're exactly right.
Yeah, but that's the crazy part. We haven't had great hitters come through in the last like 5 years in this.
No, and the Rockies, they seem to slow cook their prospects a bit much for me, but I don't,
Yeah,
You're
I love
right,
me some Tyler Freeman, friend of the podcast, Tyler Freeman.
Mhm.
Yeah. I actually loved that trade for him.
Yeah, for him, yeah, for get out of the Cleveland system.
Yes,
But it's like,
I loved that for him.
What exactly were the Rockies doing in that trade? It's like, why did they do that? But I do love. I mean, Tyler's my guy, man. He's been on the podcast.
I just don't see how he's not starting over Kyle Farmer at second base.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, he will. Yeah, second best shortstop in Etiwanda history, Tyler Freeman. Those who know. Yeah. So whatever. The Rockies will probably find a way to screw all these guys up, which is ultimately why they're probably in tier 3. So that's something we should probably mention.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's just
they might find a way to screw this up. All right, we did it. We are at we're still not the longest episode ever, but we still have a few more bold predictions that we need to give. So what do you think, guys? Do you want to give a few bold predictions and then explain them, or do you want to just kind of rapid fire these bold predictions and see how many we can get? Because I got about 7 that I have written down here, but I could easily go in depth on all of them. What do you think, Nate?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to rapid fire, but then maybe perhaps we will talk about the ones that each of us find interesting. Okay. How's that sound?
I love that idea.
We each pick one of our favorites from each of us, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so I'll pick one from Nate. Nate, you pick one from Jeremy. Jeremy, you pick one from me after we rapid fire them.
Cool.
All right.
Bam. Okay. I'll start off here. So Jeremy, listen carefully. I got I like to hedge my bets. So Mark Church of the Texas Rangers or Jacob Mizorowski of the Milwaukee Brewers will save 20 games. Can't tell you which one, but one of those guys will save 20 games in the big leagues this year.
Okay.
Nate?
Okay, so this is mine now. I'm going?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, Jeremy, listen up.
Well,
Thomas. Oh, my bad, Alex.
Don't make Jeremy do double the work.
You listen up. All right. Thomas Harrington of Pirates fame will finish 2025 with the Pirates after throwing with the Pirates 50 innings pitched, a sub-3 ERA, a sub-1 WHIP, and 65 strikeouts in those 50 innings pitched.
Oh. Dang.
Jeremy, what do you got?
Okay.
I'm listening carefully.
I don't know how hot of a take this is or bold, but we're going to go with this. The Oakland there it is. I did it. The insert city here, A's, will win 86 games and just miss the playoffs.
Okay.
Okay. I know we're not supposed to talk about them. So I like the A's, what they're doing. So my non-sports guy, screw it. We've gone this far. So my non-sports friend at my school, he said, okay, so how are the Angels doing? How are the A's doing? And I thought to myself, I think the A's are in a better position than the Angels for the next.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Not close. I personally think the A's may be in the best position in that division right now.
Yeah.
For the future, absolutely.
Yeah. They got pitching, but
they got to get some pitching. Yeah. So, okay, here we go. I got so the Red Sox got those 3 hot prospects everybody's talking about, but I'm going to say Roman Anthony has more WAR than either of the other two, Marcelo Meyer or Christian Campbell, combined in the majors in 2025. So give me Roman Anthony over those two.
I agree with you on that one.
Ugh. All right. My turn.
It is.
Arjun Namala, Toronto hard-hitting prospect, youngster, will hit 35 plus home runs this season at single A advanced.
Okay. I like that one.
I like that. Yeah, he's got more power than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of home runs though. Okay, Jeremy.
Okay, I'll go to the I've talked Major League heavy. I'll go to the prospect side. Let's head over to the NL East, and I'm going to say, I'm going to say at the end of the year, Travis Sikora is the best pitching prospect in the NL East, and he is a top 30 overall prospect.
Yeah. Hoping the injury thing isn't too big of a deal, but yeah, love him.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. I had one here. I already kind of gave it away earlier, which was the Bubba gets 10 wins. So I'll move on to my next one. So Nate, you talked earlier about Connor Griffin, and but I like the other high school guy, Bryce Rayner. So give me, kind of whatever you said about Connor Griffin, give me Bryce Rayner. Maybe not number one, because I think you went to number one. But I got Bryce Rayner hitting 25 homers and, becoming a top 5, top 10 prospect in baseball. This guy is hitting all the boxes for me, and I'm super excited to see. And this is kind of like, okay, the Tigers, they kind of know what they're doing over there. And I'm excited about him.
Yep. Yeah, I like him too.
Yeah, I like it. That's a good one.
All right. Trey Morgan, the atypical first baseman for the Tampa Bay Rays, will finish 2025 as the starting first baseman at Tampa Bay after pacing double or triple A in batting average.
So Yandy gets dealt or gets her what? What's happening to Yandy?
He gets hurt.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's mean. I guess he can get traded. Let's say he gets traded. Let's be positive.
Getting hurt's not that big of a deal.
I don't want to wish it on people. Poor
right. I'm not wishing anything.
Listens to the podcast, Nate, and he's going to say you want him to get hurt.
These are bold predictions now. Come on. I'm trying to be bold, damn it.
All right. I'm going to change things up a little bit. So I had Tucker as my NL wild card, or as my NL MVP. So we're gonna strike that. And my next bold take is going to be that Corbin Carroll goes 300, 30, 50, and wins the NL MVP.
Whoa! Wow. Yeah. I could see it happening, unfortunately, because he burned the living hell out of me last year in my redraft league. Yeah. Oh God. It was a keeper league, to be fair. So I kept him in the last round or whatever. I took him. Yeah. But man, he burned me. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So he has a little swing change too. So it might be maybe that'll come through. I hope it does.
He looked great. He looked great in the spring.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, Nate, you'll like this one because you texted me the other day about this. But AJ Smith-Shawver makes the All-Star team.
Yeah, I do like that one. I like that one a lot.
A lot of opportunities are ahead of this guy, and if Bryce Elder made the All-Star team, why couldn't AJ Smith?
Amen. All right, Alex, you're gonna hate this one. All right, you ready? Mm-hmm. Chase Young will hit 40 home runs this year wherever he is. 40.
It's going to be for the Tigers because they're winning the Central.
Boom.
Yeah, 40 homers for the Tigers. All right, got it.
Nice.
You think he can hit that many homers? That's wild.
Yeah, okay. I do.
Well, he's got one already if you count his one.
Exactly.
So you're on.
He already went.
Yeah, he's on pace for over 100. So
He hit one in AAA. Was he up?
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
He hit the first home run of the minor league season.
Yes, he
there you
did.
go. All right, let's get him up. Let's get him up. Get the Tigers to make noise. Okay, what do you got, Jeremy?
Okay, let's see. All right, so let's go with prospect one, and I'm gonna say that Aiden Smith of the Tampa Bay Rays is a top 5 prospect at the end of the year.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that is bold.
it is bold. Yeah, I don't know
Bold
about,
and beautiful.
yeah. Okay, I got 2 more guys. How many do you guys have? I don't want to be left out.
I have 5 more, but I could do them quickly. Or I don't have to do all 5.
Jeremy, how many do you have?
I've got 5 or 6, so I can cut, but I can cut some. So you guys set the pace, and I'll just follow.
And you guys did some extra credit. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's do 2 more because we're at a super long episode. So we'll go 2 more, and well, yeah, you guys could do them. That's fine. That's all good. Here I got another one here.
Okay. All right.
This is real recency bias because as I talked to Jeremy, I was watching him tonight, and I was just like, this guy is different than I remember him. But Jack Leiter is going to strike out 200 guys this year.
Oh, what a turnaround! What a turnaround Alex has had.
He's throwing 99
bro.
consistently.
All I've been telling Alex Sanchez on our wonderful little show here is that Jack Leiter is the man, and he always has been. And now Alex is predicting him to get 2.
He bumped up that velo, and it's just like, okay, his changeup's like 93 miles per hour now. He's like,
gotta love that. Gotta love that kick change.
Yeah,
there it is.
And his delivery is super sexy to me. Like, it's just so smooth, and then it just explodes out of his hands. So anyway,
I'm so stoked. You have no idea how excited I am that you're on Jack Leiter now.
I'm on board.
All right, mine. Yes. Oh, okay. This is another one you're gonna hate, Alex. Okay, you ready?
Sure.
Marcelo Mayer will be called up within the month, along with Roman Anthony, and will outperform all 3 of the Red Sox big 3. So much so that I even have a triple slash here for you guys. You ready for this? By the end of the year, Mayer will be at 320 average, 450 on base percentage, 550 slug.
No, you wild.
Holy cow.
He basically did that at spring training, did he not?
Well, it's a lot different than the major leagues.
We'll see. We'll see.
Did Scotty Ballgame pay you to throw that in there?
I've always loved Mayer.
What we all agree is that Christian Campbell sucks, right? Can we all agree?
I mean, I don't know why he was promoted to begin with. But.
Give Vaughn Grissom a chance.
Right?
Well, maybe not. He sucks.
Oh God, that trade. Ugh.
Yeah. But Campbell can't play any defense. That's what I don't get. Like, it's horrible. Anyway, defensively, he's not a horrible prospect. I actually do like him as a prospect, but defensively, he's like lost. And Jack Leiter dominated him today. Just gonna say, whatever. Okay, why don't you throw me another one, Nate, while you're there?
Sure. Yeah. All right. JJ Weatherholt, Jeremy's boy, will force the Cardinals' hand after demolishing minor league pitching and debuts with the Cards by June 1st, effectively starting his career as a Cardinal and forcing Brendan Donovan and Nolan Gorman elsewhere, and as I've already said, will eventually end up being Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, we saw that one coming. That's fair.
Yeah, as a Cardinals fan, that makes me very happy to hear that as a possibility. I'm done with Gorman, so I'm in anything that involves him not being in that lineup, it makes me happy. So
yeah, I think Gorman's done with baseball also. So, okay, should I keep going or are we on to Jeremy now?
Go to Jeremy. Give us 2, Jeremy.
Okay. Let's see. What do I want to go with next? Okay, so I'm gonna follow up with something Nate was hitting hard on earlier, and say that Ellie De La Cruz steals 80 bases this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like
I don't know
that.
that that's that bold now in hindsight, but
Yeah. We were talking 40-90 for him, so
40-90.
80 seems like a big number to me, so that's a lot of bases.
so it would be 30-80, you think?
35-80, let's go with that.
35-80. What's the most impressive? 40-70, 50-50, or 30-80?
50-50.
Nah, it's
50-50, yeah, that's yeah, I agree.
What is 50? What is 50 plus 50 though?
I don't know. Mr.
100.
Sanchez.
What's 40 plus 70? Just saying.
So
just saying.
I would say this about Ellie. In Great American Small Park, the home run total wouldn't impress me as much as the higher stolen base thing. So maybe throw that factor in there. But
yeah,
just for in general, 50-50 to me is crazy impressive. So
yeah. Well, if you're a DH, it's easy to do. If you're playing right field every night, it's tougher to do.
yeah.
Now, if he was pitching and going 50-50, that would be something.
No, that would be something.
If he goes 50-50 and has 15 wins with like 200 strikeouts.
Then you have Shohei Ohtani.
Okay. When is he coming back to pitch, Nate? Anyway.
Soon.
Okay. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Like this month, or is it going to be like
No,
June?
I'd say in a month.
Okay, man.
While we're talking about hot takes, this is not one of mine, but I heard one. I don't even remember where I heard it, but there was a hot take that Shohei Ohtani pitches less than 30 innings this year. I thought that was crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't be that surprised, but I think as long as his health stays above water, I think he'll throw, let's say 120 innings. Let's give him that much.
I'd say the Dodgers would be very happy with that.
Very happy, yeah. Well, the thing is, you can't. Again, the guy who's like not super into sports was like, well, what? Put him in the bullpen. It's like he has to start, right?
Yeah. He can't be in the bullpen.
Guy. So that it complicates the little thing where like you have to be a starter.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he could be like an opener every couple of days, but I don't know what value. I don't know, because two surgeries like that get really
yeah, but
hurt.
this is the thing about Ohtani is that this was the biggest part of his contract that he would not falter on, and that was pitching and hitting. Mm-hmm. Now he agreed to that with the Angels. I don't know how hard that writing was when he signed with the Dodgers. I didn't look into that, but that would be something to look at to see if that was hard written into his contract, that the pitching is a necessity so long as he's healthy. And judging by the way that he's beefing up in bullpen sessions, yada yada, it sounds like he is. And knowing Doc Roberts and Friedman, they want him as far away from that goddamn mound as possible. However, if he's healthy, Shohei's going to get what he wants. I mean, he's Shohei Ohtani, for crying out loud. So I think as long as he's healthy, he'll be pitching. And of course, when he gets hurt, he'll go back to hitting. Just hope that he doesn't hurt something that affects his hitting as well.
You know what? It's definitely worth gambling on. I know that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy has got something that we haven't seen in, 80 years or however long it's been.
We moved on from that, the gambling stuff. Okay, cool.
I like that subtle jab there.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I got one here. I got my final one. It's going back to my Tigers here. Reason why they're going to make it is Kevin McConaughey comes up in 300 at bats, hits over 300.
Ooh, I love that one.
Doesn't quite win Rookie of the Year, but kind of propels the Tigers into the postseason because, I think I got to try to get more of McGonagall wherever I
Yeah.
can. It's so good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Mashes. Okay. Is it me now?
It's you.
All right. My boy, Tamar Johnson, will finally break through the AA, AAA pitching wall and put up his career best numbers. I'm talking like a 300, 425, 550 triple slash, 25 bombs, and will end 2025 with the Pirates as the starting second baseman.
Yeah. He should. Like, he honestly should.
Mm-hmm.
All right, got one more for me, Nate?
Yep. I got two more for you. Should I just finish it out?
Sure.
All right. Chase Petty of the Reds gets the call up after All-Star Weekend and becomes this year's version of Jared Jones, i.e. he blows up and becomes, the next big thing. And last but not least, I had to get him in. Justin Crawford adds the in-game power, i.e. the only thing missing from his 5 sets of tools, and goes 20-40, earning him top 10 overall status in Prospectum in 2026.
Love that one.
Yeah. Your career is basically based on Justin Crawford. If he blows up, you're set, and if he doesn't, you're kind of done. So
Yeah.
I hope you're okay with that.
Well, I also got Eldridge, and I got a few guys.
You got a few, but he's the guy that, like, you're so ahead of everyone else.
Oh, I have been since day one.
Yeah, since day one. All right, why don't you finish on up, Jeremy, and then we'll wrap things up on this super episode.
Cool. Okay. Okay. So we all know how the Padres love to rush their prospects. So I'm gonna have the bold take that Ethan Salas gets an at-bat in the major leagues this year.
Oh, I love that one. I love that one.
That's what this show's all about. Stuff like that.
Yeah, that was
And
perfect.
so, and if you will indulge me, I'm gonna stay behind the plate, and I'll give you one more. Alfredo Duno of the Reds is a top 3 catching prospect at the end of this year.
Yeah. I like that one
He's
too.
gonna be one of those non-catcher prospects that we all
Exactly right. You're exactly right.
Yeah. Great. Love those two. Those are fun. Those are 2 good ones. All right, boys, we got to wrap this up. This is becoming an all-day thing, but fantastic time of year. Hopefully everybody listening to this is as excited for opening day as we are. This is a fun time of year. The other sports start wrapping up, and then it's, this is summer. Like, summer's around the corner, and that's a great feeling to have, especially if you're a teacher. Just gonna say, especially if
My
you're a
wife
teacher.
is putting it down.
Yeah, we're very excited for that. But baseball too is a big part of it. Maybe my Braves will win a game by the time we record the next episode because we're 0-2. And the Dodgers maybe will lose a game by that time because they're 4-0. Don't know about the Cardinals. How are the Cardinals doing?
1-0, baby. Leading the NL Central.
Yep.
Stupid Braves. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. And thanks for everybody for listening to this one. This was easily the longest episode we've ever recorded, but, I'm okay with it. A special bonanza, if you will, of sorts. And if you did make it all the way through, hey, you're one of the real ones. So we appreciate you. And keep following along. We're going to try to ramp it up now that we're in the regular season and get to weekly episodes. And then Nate, you got your podcast as well. So lots of stuff to listen to via Prospects 1500. So keep that up. And we do appreciate everything, and have a fantastic baseball season. Good luck to the Dodgers. Good luck to the Cardinals. Good luck to your team as well, whoever it may be. And hope, if nothing else, everybody's healthy. Let's just avoid all injuries forever, because Josh Lowe out there in Tampa screwing me all
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Josh. Okay. This is Futures Focus. I'm Alex Sanchez, joined by Nate Eckert, joined by Jeremy May. We will see you next time.